like, to me, I don't see the growth because I'm just working. And then having the PWI is like a reminder of like, no, you're doing what you're supposed to and you're growing and you're growing. I was like, I really do appreciate that. And just seeing it makes me know like, oh, I am doing something right, even though I feel like a crazy person sometimes.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
Right. Welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. I am one of your hosts here, Alicia, aka Al, and I am with someone really cool. Very excited for this. We got the leader of the Big Starkz brand, Space Jesus, Billie Starkz. Insert crowd noise here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. How are you doing today? I know we're just talking about your crazy schedule.
I'm doing pretty good today. Today's been one of my like relaxed days because yesterday was a little rough. My stomach just got all jumbled up and I like have been feeling so sick. And I woke up today and I was like, I feel so much better.
Well, that's so good.
I blame the Zaxby's I ate. Zaxby's tore my stomach up.
Like, don't you know I have a trip? You have lots going on. So let's just get right into it. You are about to go to Japan.
Yes, I'm so excited and so stressed.
Yeah. So this is like your first big solo trip alone, I'm assuming?
Yes, I've done trips in America, but this is my first trip outside of America and going completely alone.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I could do that, but that's so exciting. So you're going to Japan as of recording this very quickly, a couple weeks, right? Or next week?
Yes, I leave next week.
Ooh. So you will be, how long are you going for?
I'll be there for 10 days.
10 days. Wow. That's so exciting because like Japan's one of the, like, I think it's everyone's dream. Most people.
It's definitely been mine since I started.
If you're a wrestling fan, it's like a dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you are gonna face one of, the best magical girl herself, Yuka Sakazaki. I'm too excited. So that is so cool. I love her. I like big fan of yours. I'm very excited to see this matchup. How are you feeling?
I'm definitely very, very excited. I'm very, very nervous too because I know it's like a big step for me. But I'm very, very confident in like my abilities to do it. It's just getting it like done. And I was like, I am just hoping for the best. I feel like I'm gonna have such an amazing time while I'm there. I'm just like, please no mess ups, please. I was like, I'm gonna get to customs or something, and it's gonna be like that one piece of paper I forgot to grab.
No.
So I've just been a little stressed, but luckily my mom's been helping me with everything. So God bless that woman.
We love
I
moms.
put her
Moms.
through a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna like say I was gonna ask that a little bit later, but like we all have moms. We have protective moms. Like, is she freaking out a little bit? Is she like? Because I know
Oh
like
yeah.
I know like I went to sixth grade camp with my mom for a week, not even a week, and she put a little note in like my suitcase. Like that was like 12. So I could not imagine how she's feeling. And like you've traveled with your parents like this whole time, correct?
Yes, and I just recently stopped doing that,
Oh,
and
so she's a mess.
it's it's been going well, but my mom has been super stressed, and now the Japan trip's coming up, and she's like, I don't know how to feel. And I'm the worst about like texting on my phone when I'm traveling because I'm just like, oh, I put my phone down because I want to enjoy everybody I'm around and like live in the moment. And my mom's like, you never texted me, you made it. What's going on? And I'm like, it's fine.
I am the same way with my mom. Like I said, I'm a grown 30-something-year-old, and she'll be like, you're out of town, text me. I'm like, sorry, I was busy doing and exploring and buying you a gift. So it's never gonna stop. But I love that. I love how supportive your family is, and like a full wrestling family. Like they help you with merch. Like you have great merch, by the way. I was just checking it out, and I was like, "This is fire merch." Like, is that all your ideas? Is it a collab?
It's kind of just like a mixture of like us all throwing ideas and then seeing what gets done and what actually doesn't get done. Um, but that's between like Mouse, me, and my mother. Because Mouse will be like, "Oh, what about this?" And then my mom's like, "Oh, I'll go make that happen." And then other times I'll be like, "Oh, this is my idea," and then Mouse will go and get the design made, and then my mom's off like, "Okay, maybe we need to produce it at this date because it will help with like this." And I was like, "Okay." So it's all been like a team effort, and it's slowly getting put on me now. And I was like, now I'm having like full control over everything because I was like, oh, after this year of like school, I kind of want to be in charge of like all of my wrestling stuff on my own. I was like, I enjoy their help and everything they've done for me, but I feel like at some point I gotta take over.
Yeah, gotta grow the nest, but like just in case you're like, "Mom, how do I do this?" She's right there.
Yeah.
I love that. I love a wrestling family. Um, and like, who else? Like, so your immediate family, but like your road family, you're like when you're gone. So you said now you're traveling by yourself. Who's that? Like, who's your crew?
I've been slowly building this. I've been traveling with Kayla Cassidy, who I feel like is an amazing road partner. And we've just traveled together and it's been an amazing time. And then also Brogan Finley, I started getting around a lot of the Georgia people and he is so funny. I enjoy being in the car with him. And I feel like him and Kayla both like get me when it comes to wrestling so I can be like ranting about my crazy mind and they're like, yeah. I was like, I don't even know if they get it or not, but in my head I'm like, they get it.
Even if they don't, they're just like, "Cool, yeah, sure." What's like you're on the road, you guys stop. What's your go-to snack? There's always something you got to have on a road trip.
So I've recently became like hooked to these things. They're like these healthy Lunchables. And
Oh,
that's been my go-to now. They're like the Oscars, turkey and acai or asago, and I just love them.
well, I'm impressed that it's a healthy snack because usually somebody would be like, I need all the chips and carbs and it's a
I
smart, good
try to stay
habits you're
away
building.
from that stuff and be good while I'm on the road, but I'll also be like, "Oh, fast food, woohoo!"
Well, it's late at night. Sometimes it's the only option.
I know, but that's usually my go-to snack has been these Lunchables. I don't know why, but I'm just loving them right now.
You
For
can't
the
go
longest
wrong. They
time,
have
it was
everything right
Slim
there.
Jims.
Well, I mean, I have Slim Jim guy. I got my Macho Man Slim Jim, so I feel you gotta have your Slim Jim.
Slim Jims are
Let's
so
see.
good.
I miss a Slim Jim. I am now a vegetarian, so no Slim Jims for
Mhm.
this guy. um, you just let's take it back. You just debuted for Women's Wrestling Army. How was that? That's so exciting. We love everything Maria's doing over there.
I completely love everything that she's doing, and I feel like it was a really good experience for me. Definitely a learning experience, because I haven't got to work anything very TV-like, and, just the way she had it running was very comfortable, and it's definitely, like, an environment where all these people are new at it, so I was like, "Oh, I'm allowed to struggle and not be good at this." Um, and she definitely was taking her time with me and like, "Oh, this is how you do this, and this is this and this." I was like, "I get the in-ring aspect, but sometimes, like, these other parts of wrestling, I'm still learning how to develop." And, definitely at Maria's promotion, it helped me a lot, and I was like, I'm very, very thankful for everything she has going on there.
Yeah, that's so exciting. And I saw a tweet that you like of a clip of your entrance and you were like, if it's not my usual music, I don't know what to do with my hands. And I just love that you're so like relatable because it's what do I do with my hands? What do I do?
I was like, it's just wasn't like me, but it was. So I was like, I'm still learning how to do this. So I'm gonna do this awkward thing that I've never done before, guys.
You're like, okay, kind of like an Ashley Simpson jig. That's what you should just go to. Just, something awkward. But that's relatable. And I think that's why people gravitate towards you because, you could be like a kid because, you are so young, or you could be an adult and be like, I like her energy. I wish I could, be like that. Just we're all awkward and figuring it out. So love that. Um, my first exposure to you was facing Effie back in Vegas at Black Label Pro. And I told my friend that I was kind of low key scared of you. But I'm just scared of teenagers. And you were, you were being a little brat. We all knew what
I
was
was
going
like
on.
my bratty teenage self.
It'd be like that. And so like you've been growing with GCW. Is that like really helped your career being with them?
Most definitely. And I feel like I just have such a positive experience with that. And being around that sorry, words
Words are hard.
hard. Being around those people really helped me grow as a wrestler. Um, and I feel like I learned something different at all these different promotions. And definitely JCW has helped me a lot.
Yeah, you are killing it over there and being around really good minds. Like those I think they're the like I'm a big GCW fan. I think they have such, you know, everyone's so smart who wrestles there. So I think that's so cool that you get to like be around that and absorb that energy. All those people you get to wrestle. Um, and like I said, I saw you in Vegas wrestling Effie, and I saw Allie watching you in the corner like a proud big sister. Like how like I just think that was so sweet. And then I saw you guys tag the next day. How is that relationship? Because we just love women supporting women, and it's so wholesome.
I feel like it's just gotten better between me and Ali because we did grow up from similar backgrounds, and just seeing where we've gone in wrestling, we kind of just connected, and we've always been around each other. And I feel like Ali and her old lady wisdom, and then I'll just make fun of her because we're just all over the place because that's the type of humans we are. And it really is like she's my older sister. And it's like, oh, I'm going to go make fun of my older sister and everything she has going on. But we both support each other so much. And I love just her energy. I was like, I feel like I get told a lot that I'm just high energy, this, and this. And I was like, you guys haven't seen this woman at her full extent.
I've got to see her wrestle many times. I've interacted, said hello. Like I think she's so great. So not a bad word for me. I think it's a good big sister to have. Like I said, she was very protective. You've speaking like you've done some crazy, crazy matches. And you even made a sticker of your face all bloody, which I think is super sick. Is there something you would never want to do in the ring, or a match you would never want to do?
A mud pit match. Like the mud pit matches, I was like, I would be too embarrassed to do anything like this. I was like,
That's
it's just not for me, guys.
blood, light tubes, but mud, draw the line. I respect it. Yeah.
I was like, I'll get beat up and look like pretty cool. I was like, blood makes me look pretty cool, but like me covered in mud, I don't know if I can go that far to embarrass myself.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that when I was thinking of this question. Yeah, that's kind of no, not the vibe. um, you've had such a great year, and you've had so many standout moments. Like like I said, you're going to Japan. You got to perform at the Mall of America. Like, how is that? Like, that's wild because no one's performed there since WCW.
It was insane. And I just remember my dad like fangirling about it the entire time we're going up to it. He was like, we're gonna sit in the living room and we're gonna watch the old one, and then you're gonna go wrestle in this, and this is gonna be crazy. And I'm just excited about the roller coasters in the mall. I was like, I get to go ride roller coasters before my matches.
Has to be the
Uh,
best venue.
oh my god, it was such an amazing venue. I loved the vibe. It wasn't very like chaotic, just because I was like, where do I go? We're in the basement. And then it's like I have to run, and it's like, okay, now is it time for my stuff?
Oh
I'm
my
just
gosh.
listening to everybody else tell me what to do, and I'm like, "Okay, sounds good. See you guys."
Just someone push me in the right direction. Yeah,
Mhm.
I can't imagine. No, that's looked overwhelming. I can't just from pictures.
It was
Um
a very fun day, though. I very much enjoyed it.
it's super fun. You got to take a widow's peak from Victoria, like
Mhm.
iconic. Um, and then I heard you say she popped your back. Like
The widow's peak, like, just popped my back, and it was the best feeling in the world. I was like, "I will take this move all the time." I was like, "Literally, sign me up." I was like, "My chiropractor out of business. That's it."
she has a new side hustle. I mean, I would go to her for my chiropractic needs. We could have dentist in wrestling. We could have a chiropractor in wrestling. I think that's important.
There's balance.
Yeah, it's important. um, so you're in your last year of high school, and so everyone's thinking of college and what they want to do. You're kind of ahead of the game, being like, I'm already in wrestling. I already know what I want to do. How is your planning going? What's next for the real life side?
It's been definitely chaotic because, there's so many options for me, and I'm truly not sure what I wanna do. I've settled on, like, going to college for 2 years, and I'm doing it online for business and marketing, and I was like, "This will make me feel good about having a backup plan if wrestling doesn't work out or if my body doesn't wanna last any longer." But I think I'm doing pretty good with that. And I honestly just wanna see where wrestling takes me. I was
Mhm.
like, I hope that opportunities arise once I turn 18 and I get through the end. I just hate the waiting game. I'm too impatient. But I'm excited to see where everything takes me. I have some game plans in my head, but I can't spoil anything. So you just gotta stay along for the journey.
Okay, we're with you, yes. And now that you're 18, well, you're about to be 18, that's gonna open up so much more for you. You've already like you're already killing it. So I can just imagine once you're open to everything, like once everybody's allowed to see who you are and what you do. And speaking of your birthday and turning 18, before you turn 18, you are fighting that dirty, dirty, dirty dog, Tony Deppen. I didn't mean that in the best way. I love Tony Deppen. So, have you thought about that match, or are you just like you got to do one step at a time because you got a lot going? But that's very big.
I've definitely thought about it. My goal was to, like, finish out Japan strong and then worry about Tony. But I feel like we're definitely going to have an interesting matchup. We joke that he's like White Mouse. I was like, he's literally has the same views as my dad. Um, and they're just cranky old men. And I was like, I feel like this is a very good match to like in my birthday and stuff on, or like before my birthday, before I turn 18. I was like, I get to wrestle my cranky old dad before I
Just
turn
let some
18.
frustrations out. Be like, remember when I was 14?
It's the teenager, get it all out before you get turned into adult.
Kind of like a rage room. You
Yes,
just get,
yes.
but it's Tony Deppen.
And it helps that it's, like, in the place where I started training and doing everything too. I was like, "Oh, you guys get to see all this anger come out."
I was gonna say that's like so cool that you get to like. I guess it would be like a complete one phase of your career. You're moving on. In like you said, the place you trained. Like that's so exciting. I don't. that's kind of like written like a movie kind of
It's a
situation.
very full circle.
Yeah, just
Um, everybody has said my life is so crazy because there's so many things that happen, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, this is just my life," and everybody else is looking on it coming in and like, "What is going on?"
yeah, I would say like it's very Hannah Montana, and I want like some sort. I would love to have like a show about you. Like somebody should write this show about like she's a wrestler, regular high school student. Maybe throw in some Kim Possible, and you can solve some mysteries or crimes or something too. Like it's just that's putting that out there for the future. If you ever have like need an idea, but like it's just thinking that. So that's very exciting. You just wore number 52 on the women's PWI 150. You were 263 on the PWI 500. You are killing it. Does that like how does that feel to be in this position? And you were one of the I think like you and Liv Morgan were like the most growth on the PWI 150. So that's some good company.
I love it. Honestly, I was like, to me, I don't see the growth because I'm just working. And then having the PWI is like a reminder of like, no, you're doing what you're supposed to and you're growing and you're growing. I was like, I really do appreciate that. And just seeing it makes me know like, oh, I am doing something right, even though I feel like a crazy person sometimes.
It's hard when you're in it, yeah, because
Yeah.
you're just focused. What's the next day? What the next thing is, but people see it, and we all appreciate it. Um, so keep killing it. We're so proud of you, and you've already wrestled, people from like Deanna Perrazzo to Ruby Soho. Like we're missing all the names, but like who else? Is there some? Is there still left? Is there still a list left that you want to face?
Millie McKenzie is at the top of my list right
Okay.
now. I was like, I still have not got the opportunity to wrestle her, and I think she's phenomenal. And I honestly just need to start making a new list because I feel like I
Ooh.
got through my list, my hidden little list that I hid for a while, so quickly because it was like everybody was like, "Oh, I think this is a dream matchup," and I was like, "Little do you know, this is all I want too." uh, but I really want to like work on like setting new goals for myself this next year. I was like, there's so much I feel like is opening up for me. So I'm like, tee hee, what else do I want to do?
Take over the world. You got this.
Yeah,
But yeah,
slowly.
you wrote it down. It's manifestation. You manifested all of this, your whole list. Now we need a new list. That's what the goal is, right? You just want to
Mhm.
keep going. Uh, you've also said, I saw you say, and this made me very happy that you want to come out here to the West Coast and wrestle more. Please, please come here. We'll take you. Where are some places and some people that you want to wrestle on the West Coast?
Um, I definitely just enjoy the vibe over there. I love Defy. I love West Coast Pro. It's just like everything they have going on there. I feel like I'm slowly like seeing more and more of, and like their stuff with Prestige. I was like, oh my god, they're killing this right now. And a lot of my friends who I've never gotten to wrestle Titus Alexander, and I was like, oh, I could definitely beat that giant man up. Um,
Yeah, I
and
would like to
any
see that. Yeah.
opportunity to see Nick Wayne. I love the child prodigy. I will say he's 10 times better than me, but I just love being in his presence.
I don't know. I've seen both you
um,
wrestle. I don't know. Maybe I'm being biased.
it's
I
like
was gonna
it's my
ask you that. Like,
friend, and I'm like biased because I'm like, oh, he's pretty cool, and I am just like, I'm something, guys. And then everybody else is
I
like,
think you're pretty cool. um, so I was speaking of Nick Wayne and like all of this, you're kind of in this renaissance, I guess you can say, of these young talents just coming out, and you guys all know what you want and are just killing it. Like it's such a cool thing to see. How does it feel to just be like in this kind of like older space? Um, and kind of just making your guys' own path, because I think you guys are just bringing in a whole new, ushering in a new era of wrestling, and that's what we need. So, how does that feel, or are you just doing your thing?
I think we're just honestly doing our thing. Like, it's been fun and we're just having fun with wrestling. And everybody's like, you're causing like so many changes and this and that. And it's like, for me and Nick, we talk about like, we're just here wrestling. We're here having a good time. We want everybody to enjoy wrestling and we're going to put on the best show possible. And everybody's like, you don't understand. This is not our normal. And me and Nick, we're like, this is normal.
Yeah, doesn't everybody do this? No, no. I also think it shouldn't be super weird, because there's been plenty of younger wrestlers, like Rey Mysterio started as like a teenager, so it's not out of the norm. I think it's just a new trend for American wrestling.
Yes.
So I think that's what it's kind of grasping. But you are starting a new trend and a good era. We're gonna leave the past and we're gonna have a good new time. So I'm very happy about this new era that you guys are ushering in, because you guys are killing it. Um, and I'm just always like amazed, because I was like, I did not have my life together at 17. Like I'm impressed.
I try
So
my best to. I'm not like the perfect kid, but I try my best to keep it all together.
yeah, you're like, when I was 17, I was still saying I would like to be a wrestler, and it never happened. And here I am talking about it. But when I was like, okay. Um is there, speaking of moms, is there something you've been like pitched to your mom, like, I'm gonna do this in a match, and she's like, absolutely not, you're not, no, not doing that, and was like,
Um, yeah, so it's kind of crazy because it kind of developed into something I did do. Um, there was that swanton to the floor, and I talked
mm,
about doing that spot for like months. I was like, I had it in my brain, and I was like, this is what I want to do. And I kept getting told no, 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 no. And I finally got my mom to like crack. And it was that day of the show, and she was like, okay. I was like, wait. She just said, okay. Well, okay, I'm gonna go do this. And she was like, don't tell Mouse. So I was like, you don't have to tell me that. And it finally happened, but it was one of those things where like I was like, okay, I can't get in trouble from my mom because I'm doing this now.
you can't get mad at me. You said yes, I'm done. So, and now it's on the internet. I'm sorry.
I don't think she was fully prepared for like how much attention it got, but she was like, "Oh my god, you're a mess."
Yeah, how was that? You did go pretty viral, and people were like, either like, they had a lot of opinions about that. And I just found that really interesting, because there's always like opinions on the internet. Um, but I always just figure, you know yourself and what you can do, and like, I've never been in the ring, so I who am I to judge? So how does it feel when you see clips like that and you see like negative something to that?
I honestly expect it, but it's one of those things I don't let it affect me, and I know at the end of the day, most of the people who are having those negative responses just care about my health and safety.
Right.
And I promise I'm very, very smart and I'm taking care of myself. But I'm also like, I'm a person, I need to try things. I want to do stuff that's different. If I never challenge myself, how do I know where are my limits? What are going to be where I stop? And honestly, I've been so careful with wrestling. I take really good care of my body. Even when I did that spot, I was like, oh, okay, I actually don't feel hurt. I did it the safest way possible, and people were still upset about it. And I was like, okay, I understand, but I'm still like, I haven't done many things like this, and I did it, and I told a story with it. And I was like,
Mhm.
I wish people could look at the good aspects of what I did instead of just straight to the negative of like, what about your health? What about your health? I was like,
Right.
what about all these other people's health that you don't say anything about? I was like, you only want to do this because you have so much protection for me as the kid. And I was
Mhm.
like, I get where you're coming from, but I also, you have to let me grow up and try things.
Yeah, exactly. And you've I feel I feel like you're in a situation your parents wouldn't put you in something bad. You
Mhm.
said, your dad's already in wrestling. He already knew. So he wouldn't put you in a position to be hurt or something bad to happen to you. He would not. I mean, I don't think any parent would allow the kid if they knew how it worked to be in that position. So yeah, I could see that. Like, and it's always a little clip that they see, so they don't see the broader
The whole
picture.
big picture.
Yeah. Like, well, what about the other part where I beat him up? Like, what? But you're right. It is protection. I think it's hard to see that, but you're professional and you kill it every time you go out there. So, and I'm very impressed that you're so like, well, yeah, you just take it on the chin. So that's keep that up.
Thank you.
Let's switch gears to something lighter. Your gear. We do a little show here called Turnbuckle Glam, and we rank not rank. We kind of just talk about everyone's looks on social media and things like that. And your gear is so cool and so fire. Um, it's very Joshi inspired. Is that the vibe you were going for?
Mhm.
So like, where did you get? So obviously Joshi, but like, what's the thought process of going into gear?
Honestly, so when I first started, I found this Amazon set of gear that like was like quick and easy. And my mom like put decals on it and it had like that strap on my top and I honestly love that. So I kept that aspect of like my gear ever since I've started. So if you look at all of my tops, they always had that strap. And I found shorts that kind of had the strappy legs, and I was like, "Oh, I like this too. Let me keep doing this." And I was like, "I like having shorts when I wrestle. I don't like when it's like low cut, and I don't like wearing tights because I was like, I can't breathe in this." But it slowly started like evolving as I had more and more ideas. And once I started developing like who I wanted to be as a wrestler, and I took a lot of inspiration from Joshi wrestling because I was like, these women are what I strive to be like because they are just top notch performers. I find them so entertaining and their wrestling is amazing. And I took little bits and pieces from those people and I was like, okay, how do I do this but make it me? And I kept that design of like my gear. I like that strappy feeling. And then I was like, okay, here's these colors, here's this. And I was like, how many patterns can I shove in this? And I got to do a lot of the design process with my gear maker, Ali, and she's been killing it. I'm one of those people, I feel like if you give your gear designer a little bit of freedom, but you still say, this is my idea, this is what I'm kind of seeing, I feel like Allie is one of the people, if you give her a little bit of freedom, she just goes above and beyond because she's trying to think what is what they're thinking. Okay, but how can I make this even better? And she kills it every single time. And I recently, it was more my mom's idea to have stuff bejeweled. I'm not a very big, like, girly girl, but my mom's like, can we bedazzle it? And I was like, sure, I don't care. And just having that other aspect has definitely made my gear pop when I'm in the ring now. And it looks like even better than what I thought it did before. So shout out mom. She actually is like re-bedazzling some of my gear before Japan. So she's having fun with that.
You absolutely have to go to Japan, but bedazzled. It's a pageantry there. So, but you're right. It does pop in pictures, and when you see it, you're like, "Ooh!" You sparkle. It gravitates.
It's shiny things.
Yeah, it's everyone's like bird instinct of being like, "Ooh." That's why all the dudes have sparkles. Like, when you go to Japan, speaking, we're gonna go back to that. What do you want to see? What's all the fun stuff you want to do?
I want to see everything. I'm so excited. I'm going to be my little tourist self. Uh, but I just want to like roam the streets. And my mom's like, please be careful. I was like, but I just want to see what's around and like walk around and see what's like available to me. But Nick Wayne and Joel Bateman both have been giving me ideas of like, oh, what's around and Cole too, when he was on his trip over there, he was sending me like pictures and what they were up to. And there's like the Hello Kitty cafe, and I was like, this looks so cute.
Have to.
Um, I'm such a mark for their vending machines. I just want to try all the vending machine stuff.
They have every kind of vending machine.
And I want to try like real Japanese ramen because I'm definitely like a ramen fan. But I've only had it here in like the States, so I was like, it has to be better than this. I want like the real thing.
Then you might not ever go back though. You're
True.
gonna just be one of those people that's like, it's not as good as in Japan, and you're gonna be that person.
I hope I'm never that person because I enjoy some cheap ramen noodles, like at the little instant packs. Mwah.
Mhm.
But I've also had it at like ramen shops, and I'm like, oh my god, this is delicious. I was like, if I could eat that every day, that's what I would go to.
It is soup season. It's fall, it's time to be cozy.
I
You
love
know.
soups. I'm a big soup person. My mom thinks I'm a cranky old lady. I'll eat soup all the time.
It's not nice comforting thing, warms your, body. That's why the Campbell's commercial used to have that snowman, like uh
Wholesome, wholesome.
speaking of fall and soup season, I know it just ended, but I know it was your favorite season. How was your spooky season? Your
It
Halloween
was
that just passed?
so much fun. I loved having I got to do a cute little fall photo shoot.
Oh, we
Um
ranked that. We saw it. Yes.
uh Allie Parker shot those photos and she did a phenomenal job. I got to do my spooky Halloween makeup for Fright Night. And Fright Night was such a fun show.
It's so
I
good.
was so stressed out, but I had so much fun after it was done.
What are you a scary movie person, or are you just like in general the Halloween season?
Um, kind of in general, I do like scary movies. I went and saw the last Halloween that was released.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
and it was kind of very cheesy and I kind of liked it and everybody else was complaining about it and I was like, I'm sorry, I kind of enjoyed it, guys.
I don't like scary movies, but I'm like a big Halloween fan. Like I love Michael Myers. So yeah,
Mhm.
Halloween Ends was interesting.
I was like,
Such
I get
that
it.
was
Like with the rest of like the sequels and everything, I was like, I don't think this was a great ending, guys. But this movie by itself, I don't hate it.
if it wasn't, yeah, I guess standalone, it wouldn't be too crazy. But if
Mhm.
you add, yeah, it was
If you
interesting.
connect everything else back to it, it's like, oh my god, what is going on?
It's so many questions, but it happened. Somebody greenlit that movie, and at least we saw it. I don't need to see it again, but I said I saw it. Okay, cool. I'll watch the other ones.
We'll go back.
Yeah. Would you be in a scary movie?
Hmm?
Would you be in a scary movie if somebody asked you to be?
Ooh. It I definitely feel like I would for just like the experience, but I feel like I'm one of those people I jump very easily. So if I tried to like film everything, it's gonna be my natural reaction of me going
So you're the one they get at like haunted houses and things. They're like, "Ooh, she's the one."
if it's good, people really can get me. Like I I'm usually like the trickster and I'll play with people. Um but I never really get caught. I was like,
Oh,
people would like come and try to scare me, and I'm like, I know that's them. But like naturally, I feel like some people get me really, really good. My little brother is like the worst. He loves like just sneaking in and doing stuff, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna kill you.
what little brothers do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's kind of his job. So to be fair, uh, when you started wrestling, when you're 13. Everyone knows that story. But was there any talk when you went to high school of not going to regular high school and just wrestling and not being a regular kid?
It was always like you should go to public school, and I was like, oh, this is normal. This is what I do. And the wrestling thing was kind of like, oh, you're going to treat it like how you treat cheerleading or like any other sports I was doing, because I did cross country, I did cheerleading. And that my parents like understood like, oh, you guys can go do this. This is what you want to do, but school comes first. You got to have good grades before we let you go off and live your life. And now wrestling has gotten to this crazy point of like, oh, maybe she does want to graduate early and this and that. And then it's like, nah, let me just finish out this year strong, get through it. And I feel like it honestly has helped me as a person. Like, I feel like if I did graduate early and go through all this process, I feel like I would have missed out on more of my childhood. Like, there's definitely parts like I miss. Like, this weekend, I'm missing my best friend's birthday for a wrestling show.
Aw.
And she just knows that, like, you're going to go be successful. You'll be back. She was like, you're going to come hang out with me, like, probably the next day or something, or during the week. And I was like, I have such a great, like, system of people around me who understand, like, this is what I want. And they're willing to support me, even though I feel like a bad friend sometimes. I was like, oh, thank you guys.
No, I love that you have a good supportive friend because, I think especially because you're in high school, there could be people that are like, being really mean about it or like just you could have a terrible experience, and that's really cool that they're so supportive. Like, do your thing because I think they know it's gonna come around, and there's gonna be a point where you can take care of them and be like, "Oh, let's go eat, let's go, let's all leave, let's go shopping. I bought you this." Like, so that's so cool that they're just understanding. Um, when let's see what I was gonna say. Okay. Speaking of the end, well, we don't want to get to the end of it, but when is all is said and done, what do you want your legacy to be in wrestling?
I just want to be remembered as like someone who helped. I really want to see everybody grow in wrestling because I don't feel like tearing people down is going to do anything to do any better to my career or anybody else's. So I just want to like make wrestling better. I want that to be part of my legacy. Is I came into wrestling and everybody enjoyed me and had fun, and I left wrestling better than what I found it.
Yes, perfect answer. I love that. If you could wrestle anyone from the past, anybody, who would it be?
Mm, mm. Honestly, I don't know why this popped in my brain. I feel like Lex Luger for some reason, but that's just my crazy brain going off. I was like, this could be fun.
In the Mall of America.
Shenanigans, shenanigans, shenanigans.
That's a
It
great
probably
answer.
changed like 100 times, but like right now in my brain, I'm like, this is what I want.
Somehow makes sense. I like it. If you had, so say one day you get a major company signs you, which they will, somebody's going to get you, and you have a big grand entrance. Who would perform you out? You have all this money. They said, Billy, we have all the
Blink
zeros we're going to throw.
182. Blink 182.
Yes.
Just playing me out. I was like, I would lose my mind.
I figured, but are you going to the reunion tour?
I definitely want to, but I have like some things going on that I can't spoil. I was like, I'll definitely post about it on social media later. But I have like things that I'm doing, and I'm like, I can't spoil nothing.
Well, hopefully you get to maybe hopefully on the road you get to like your schedule matches up.
Yes, I
But also
hope so.
somebody donate to the Spud because those are expensive tickets.
Yes.
What more do you want to do? You've done so much. What more is there left?
I want to knock out all of my states. That is my goal. And now that it's turning 18, I can start finishing up my map. I was like, I gotta fill up this map. I want it completely done. So I'm excited about that aspect. And then also, I just want to start developing me as like a quote unquote like TV wrestler. I want to be an all around good wrestler. And I feel like I enjoy learning so many different aspects of wrestling, that I feel like this is like a new journey that I want to dive deeper into. It's just developing that side of wrestling. And I can't wait to go over to Japan. I feel like this is so crazy. And I was like, this is a completely different like style of wrestling that I'm being exposed to. And I hope like I'm just learn so I can steal all of it, bring it back here with me.
Yeah, that's so amazing. Yeah, you're gonna learn so much because they are different breed Joshi wrestlers. I think, like you hear dudes being like, "Not gonna mess with them." So, like I would never want to wrestle a Joshi wrestler. They're tiny but mighty. Like it's like,
That's what I want.
yes, you're gonna. Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna pull out some cool new moves afterwards. There's gonna be like, "Oh, she learned that in Japan." Speaking of like growing and things, you've dabbled in some promoting, doing your own shows. Is that something you want to do more, or you're sick of
Um,
it?
I feel like it was definitely something I will be doing later on in my career. Right now, it's not something I'm striving for because it's definitely very, very stressful. But it's definitely made me a better wrestler because I understand what promoters go through. I was like, I get your stress.
Like,
I've
I'm
done
sorry.
it. But I feel like it's something I have fun with and will mess around more with later. I love just helping out with the promoting side, not fully doing everything. Because me and Mouse, when we were like sitting down doing Fright Night, I enjoyed being like, oh, what about this or what about this? I'm not worried about everything. This is on his name.
Yeah.
Uh, so it was more like I could have fun with it. And I was like, this is not my responsibility. I don't have to worry about this. But when I
Something
did
goes
my
wrong, it's
birthday
not your
show,
fault.
it was so much. I was like, oh, I got to get this person, and this is how much it is. And then I want to do this match. Oh, crap. Is this person still available? It's very, very stressful. And I was like, I don't want to do this right now.
Too much responsibility, can't do it.
I'm thankful
Um,
for all the promoters
is there
out
something
there
you do
who are
before a
killing
match?
it.
Yes. Is there something you do before your matches? Is there like a ritual or any like you got to have something before your match?
I honestly just started doing this, and I don't know why. It's just my crazy brain doing things by itself. Before every match, I will like go sit in the corner for just like a minute, and I'll pour water on the back of my neck and then drink it, and then I'll set it down and then just start stretching, and then I'll walk out. And I was like, that's usually like my new thing now. And I try to not like be the person like I love running around and like talking to all my friends before my match, but now I kind of need that time to like reset before I go out. And it's honestly been like helping me a lot. And I feel like less stressed when I'm going towards the ring.
Yeah, you gotta. It's a lot of energies coming at you at wrestling. You know, everyone's screaming, and I'm sure that can be very draining. Um, what do you do to just like chill? You're not wrestling. You said today is kind of your like relaxed day. Like, what's an off day look like?
Honestly, it's just been me relaxing in my bed, finishing up some like homework and stuff, and then I was gonna try to play video games with my significant other if they're not busy. I was like, "Can we play Call of Duty, please, or Fall Guys?" Because I really do love video games, and I'm starting to be a little bit stuffy. But I was like, let me relax so my body does not get sick before I try to
Yeah,
leave.
before yeah, nip that in the bud. Get it. You don't want to do that.
It's
Travel
the
sick.
cold
All
weather. Loves kicking my butt.
get you some tea and some soup. Relax before.
Become my old
So
lady self.
it's fine. Live your best life. Live your truth. There's nothing wrong with that. So we're gonna play a little game before I end this with you. This has been so fun. So we got a couple rapid questions, rapid hot tag questions. Just whatever comes to your mind first. I already know the answer to this first one. I probably could be wrong. Maybe I'm being too ambitious. But who's your favorite artist of all time?
Blink 182. But in my brain, my artist literally went to like drawing and stuff too, and I
Well,
was
you
like,
could do whatever you. I mean, we could do musical artists and then art. Okay, who is your favorite? Artist.
this person on TikTok, and I can't remember their at right now, but the person who makes the rugs, and I would like love it.
Oh,
They made like a little strawberry cow, and it made me like so this is so cute.
that's yeah. Those are so cool. Those videos. Yeah, talent I don't have. What's your favorite body part to work on? We'll say like in ring
Legs.
or swing. All right. Favorite show to binge watch?
Um, honestly, what's the out oh my god, why is my brain blanking? It just came out over the summer. The like kids on the boat, the treasure.
What is that on a
Oh my
boat?
god, my brain. It was the Netflix show, Outer Banks,
Oh,
Outer
okay,
Banks.
okay.
I was like, I know this show.
I was like, what is that? Okay, check that one out. So there's everything is catching on fire. Um, what after moving your mom, your family, all of your loved ones, what is the one thing you're saving from your house
My
if there's a fire?
blanket. My
Aw.
blanket. I have this childhood blanket that I could never let go, and everybody's like, "You're such a child," and I'm like, "I know this is my blanket, and you can't take it away." I had like a whole mental breakdown. My mom like hid it for a little bit, and
Oh
I was like,
no.
"I can't do anything. I need my blanket. I can't sleep." And she was like, "Oh my god, it's just been in my closet. Here you go." And I was like, oh, "Okay."
Well, that's her fault. She probably gave you the blanket, and now
She
this
did
is
when I was a baby, and I've never given it up. I was like, "I can't."
okay. This is one of our CEO's favorite questions. If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or the body of, and you're not quite there yet, a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want?
Honestly, probably the body. And I was like, just so I could keep wrestling and nobody, like, as I'm 90 years old walking down like the ramp, and everybody's like, what is this crazy old woman doing? And I'm like, I feel it, guys.
Okay. Yeah, usually I'm like I'm gonna be old but I want to be spry. I don't want to be the like yeah.
I want to be
Okay.
like the chaotic old woman. And I was like, this is what you guys have to deal with.
Uh, oh, the older ladies at wrestling, they get crazy. They get down.
I love it.
I love them. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Ooh, I would love mind reading.
Ooh,
So I could just understand what everybody else is thinking.
that's a blessing and a curse, probably.
Yes. I was like, as long as I can turn it off, where I'm like, okay, I don't want to listen to this person
Right.
anymore.
You just walk by, you're like, I need to turn it off. Okay. We kind of touched on this. It's spooky season. What do you 3 things you like to do during the fall Halloween season?
Fall pictures, face paint. I love face painting and doing my makeup. And then honestly, the food. The food at the time, I'm this like, it's such. I'm not like a huge pumpkin person, but like certain spices at the time, I'm like, yeah, this hits different, guys. This is good.
Are you a pumpkin spice girl? Are you one of those?
I can't get behind it. I love the smell of it, but then I'll take a sip and I'm like, no.
Same. I'm not a pumpkin spice girl either. Sorry.
I feel like I love the scent of it though.
It smells good, but I don't want to drink it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, your face paint was so good. Like I said, we ranked it. We gave you 10 out of 10 on Turnbuckle Glam. We all loved it. So yes, that was, you did that yourself, your face paint?
Yeah, before the show. And I actually had Anakin Murphy's girlfriend help me because, like, I was doing my neck and I was like, can you just black this part out? I can't see it. And I was like, I'm struggling because I'm doing it in the back of the venue with just, like, my hand mirror. And she was like, yeah, I got you. So she helped me with, like, the neck portion. But I did, like, my whole face before the show. And I was like, hopefully this doesn't melt off before my match and I just look like a blue blob going out.
Smurf. That's the thing with face paint. All face painted wrestlers. That's, Jeff Hardy, Sting. Like, that's everybody, at one
We all
point.
turned to a Smurf at some point.
Yeah. But it also is the effect, too. Like, you wrestled so hard. Your face paint
That I
melted off.
belted.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being on here with us. We loved it. We're supporting your career. We're so excited to see you kill it in Japan. Where can everyone find you and everything that you're doing?
All of my social media is at Billie Starkz, Billie. Then Starkz is Starkz. And for any updates on what I'm doing in my crazy life of mine, you can check out my social media. I'm constantly posting about it. And if you want to check out any merchandise, it's at bigstarksbrand.com.
Get it. There's some good stuff on there. And as usual, follow me at Alia, 2_. Keep watching and supporting us here at Women's Wrestling Talk. Follow us everywhere, WW Talk Pod, on all the things. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.